We just disembarked from our 2-week Mediterranean cruise on board the Costa Deliziosa, and today we're going to give you a complete review of each and every aspect of our cruise.
Stay tuned!
Hi everyone, I'm Rick.
And I'm Andrea. And today we are giving you a very detailed review of our Med cruise on board of the Costa Deliziosa. And we'll rate each and every area by anchors from 1 to 5. But first, if you like travel-related videos, now is a great time to hit the subscribe button down below so you'll never miss any future video.
Wow, that's actually quite advice.
I know. Well folks, let's start our cruise review of Costa Deliziosa from the first impression of our ship. The Deliziosa was launched in 2009. It's 294 meters long, has a capacity of 2,826 passengers, and has 908 crew members. It has 12 passengers decks. Decks 2 and 3 are the main decks for indoor lounges, restaurant, shop, casinos, and theater. Deck 9 is the main outdoor deck, with 2 pools, the buffet, the spa, the gym, and the beauty salon. Overall, the ship looks good, flows well, and it's quite easy to navigate. The decor is good, even though it's a bit of a retro feeling, I think. On deck 2 midship, there is a main atrium with panoramic elevators that run all the way to deck 10 from deck 2, so it's quite long.
Yeah, it's quite neat.
Well, I'll give the ship a 4 anchors because I think it's quite nice. What about you, Rick?
Well, my score for the ship is actually 4 anchors as well. Next topic on our cruise review of the Costa Deliziosa is the cabin. Well, folks, we booked a balcony cabin, and overall, I'd have to say the cabin was fine. The decor was very simple, the space is good, and it's well optimized, and the amount of closet space was surprisingly good for 2 passengers. We really appreciated the size of the balcony because it was big enough for 2 large chairs and a table, so people could easily eat or tan on the balcony. One minor defect in the cabin was the lack of electrical plugs. In fact, there was only 2 plugs, 1 European and 1 American. The bathroom was fine, not the smallest we've seen, but not the biggest either for this class. The best way to describe the cabin is that it's simple with no frills. One thing though is that the couch was rather unuseful, but it was good for storage. So for the cabin, I will give it 4 anchors. What about you?
Well, I really like the size of the balcony, but only 1 electrical plug was a bit of a problem, so I'll give the cabin 3 anchors. Let's continue our cruise review of the Costa, talking about the restaurants. The ship has a very large main dining room that is used for breakfast, lunch, afternoon snacks, which is called merenda in Italian, and dinner. It also has a buffet on deck 9 that is used for breakfast, lunch, and merenda, not for dinner.
No.
The main dining room has 2 seatings for dinner, one at 7 and one at 9:30 p.m. of course.
Yeah.
Next to the buffet, on deck 9, there is a hamburgeria, a grill joint that serves burgers, fries, hot dogs, and mainly for lunch. There is a club restaurant on deck 10 midship that is for suite passenger and the Perla Diamante passenger. Perla Diamantes are the passengers with the highest tier or loyalty points. Also, for 30 euros per person, regular passenger can eat at the club restaurant. On deck 2, next to the main dining room, there is the Samsara Buff restaurant. That is a specialty restaurant with a cover charge of 25 euros at the time of recording. This is a restaurant specialized in Asian-Italian fusion with a big variety of seafood dishes. The Samsara is open for dinner. At night, on the buffet area, there's a pizza place with a cover charge that starts about 5 euro for a simple pizza and the soda, and can go up to 25 euros for gourmet pizza, soda, and dessert. The pizza restaurant is open very late at night, so people after the show can go and have a pizza. Also at night, the hamburgeria turns into a street food corner with the covered charge. Lastly, on deck 3, front of the ship, you can find the gelato place, which also has freshly made crepes, smoothie, chocolate, and a wide selection of freshly made cakes. In my opinion, the restaurants are great.
Yes.
With a good selection for this reason, my vote is a 5 anchors out of 5. What about you, Rick?
Well, you know what? Considering we got to eat at the club every day for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, I give it 5 anchors as well. All right, so next we're going to review the food. It's my favorite thing on the ship, and I have to admit the food on Costa is among the best we've so far had. It's tasty, perfectly presented, perfectly seasoned, and the menu has quite a wide variety of dishes, however with a strong Italian influence. Every night there's a special section of destination food from the Michelin star Italian chef Bruno Barbieri. In our case, we had quite a few Greek dishes to pick from every night because we were traveling a lot in Greece. The menu always has a good selection of seafood dishes and vegetarian dishes, and there's also a section of staples that never change, that include pasta with tomato sauce, tagliatelle bolognese, filet mignon with béarnaise, and of course the grilled salmon. Lastly, there's also a kids menu that's always available with dishes like chicken nuggets, hot dogs, chicken and beef burgers, schnitzel with fries, and so on. And even the adults can pick from it as well. Now, folks, the best part of all of this are the desserts. They're tasty and beautifully presented. Now, because we're at the highest loyalty level on Costa, Perla Diamante, we were assigned to the club restaurant. Now, the club has the same selection of food that you get in the main dining room, with a few other gourmet dishes available. Also, at the club restaurant, I asked for pizza from the pizzeria, and they brought it to me. Now, the pizza was absolutely delicious, totally comparable to one of the great pizzas that you can find in Naples. But we did have to pay, or I had to pay a little cover charge for it. We also tried the buffet for lunch and merenda, and also the burger joint once for lunch. The food was always really good, in these venues. Lastly, there are several dishes that are always available at any restaurant for a fee. Now, these include caviar, the tomahawk steak, linguine with lobster, and truffle ravioli. We can't really give you our opinion on the Samsara restaurant because we didn't try it, but I'm pretty sure it was delicious. Now, after this long review, you may have already guessed that I'm going to give this a solid 5 anchors out of 5. And what about you?
Well, for me as well, it's a solid 5, no doubt.
Yeah.
Our cruise review of Costa continued with the restaurant and the bar service. The service at bars and restaurants was quite good. Especially at the club restaurant, the service was impeccable. We always had at least 2 or 3 servers fussing over us.
Yeah.
We tried the service in many bars around the ship, and it was always great. Bartenders were always smiling, friendly, and happy to help. On some very rare occasion, we had some language issue, but nothing too bad.
No.
Due to COVID reason, there was some very strange protocols in place.
Yeah.
For example, you cannot have a service at the pool, so if you're on your lounge, you cannot get a drink. You have to go to the bar and order it there, while indoor, you cannot only get your drinks at the table. You cannot order to the bar, so kind of bizarre.
So one place you had to line up, the other one no.
Yeah, strange. We did not try any other restaurant other than the buffet, and the service there was efficient, basic, and like any other buffet on any other ship. So the scores for bars and restaurant service, in my opinion, is a solid 5 out of 5.
Absolutely.
What about you?
Yep, absolutely. Look, given that we had to get up to get drinks and, at the outdoor bars instead of waiting at the table, it was a little strange for me. I can see why you gave it 5, but for me, I'm going to give this one 4.5 anchors out of 5.
Okay.
Let's continue our cruise review of Costa with the entertainment. Look, guys, we have to admit that the entertainment team on board was really fantastic. They really did their best to keep everyone amused the entire time. And they had to do the best that they could with the health protocols in place. In fact, dancing was not allowed, and the dance clubs were, they were closed. But the entertainment team was able to come up with a lot of fun games, both indoors and outdoors. For example, pool games, all sorts of trivia games. Also, starting at 6 p.m., most bars had live music with singers or bands. Costa also partnered with Kinder for family activities for kids and parents together, to keep their kids active. The shows at the theater were quite good, with a lot of dancing, acrobatic dancing, and singing. And Costa also has The Voice at Sea, a singing competition for passengers that mimic the same show on TV. Passengers loved this show, and it was one of the most attended that we had seen.
Yeah.
Now, time for my vote on entertainment. And guys, I give it a solid 4 out of 5 anchors. What about you?
Well, I deeply enjoyed entertainment on board, and I think they did a fantastic job even with the restriction in place. So I'll give them a 5 out of 5.
Okay.
Now, let's talk about excursions. Costa has a very strict protocol for excursion.
Right now.
In fact, they did not allow passengers out on their own at all. Not even the fully vaccinated passenger, which was kind of strange. We knew about this in advance, but many fellow passengers didn't. And we heard many people complaining about this issue. Further, it was common knowledge that other ship was all allowing their guests to tour the ports on their own if they were fully vaccinated.
Yeah.
Also, another big thing that made no sense to anybody was the fact that most excursions were only half day. This was especially annoying for the beach excursion, which we are not allowed to stay the whole day, only a few hours, which is rather strange. We couldn't even pay for a longer excursion than the beach, which was annoying. Also, it seemed that the people at the excursion reservation office were slightly disorganized. We had a few mishaps with the booking, cancelling, and rebooking of excursion, and it was quite annoying. One thing regarding excursion that was positive was the fact that they seemed to cheaper than other cruise lines in general. Costa also offers a package that includes 5 excursions that can be picked from a long list of excursions, and there are other excursions not in the list are 25% off. This said, my vote for excursion, I think it's a 2 out of 5. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. What's your vote, Rick?
Well, for me, the general disorganization and the fact that I couldn't stay at the beaches for a full day, I give Costa 1 anchor for excursions. But because Costa tried to keep us safe with their COVID protocol, for this I'm going to give them 1 extra anchor.
So I guess this makes up a 2.
Yes, exactly. Yep, definitely. All right, folks, so next area of our cruise review of Costa are the pools and Sundecks. Costa Deliziosa has 2 pools, both on deck 9. One at the aft of the ship and one in the middle with a retractable roof that can be closed in bad weather. That's convenient. There's also 4 jacuzzis, 2 in the midship and 2 at the aft pool. Now, for the weeks that we were on board, the pools felt fine, but remember, we were at half capacity. For a ship the size of the Costa Deliziosa, I think a 3rd pool would have been necessary. In fact, on the 2 sea days, the pools were quite full. Both of them were quite full. And often it was difficult to find a chair around the pool. Now, there's plenty of sunbeds on deck 10 and 11, yeah, sure, but they're far away from the pool. On deck 10, there's also an area of sunbeds that can be reserved in advance for €7 a day, or €70 per person per week. We used this area only once because we noticed that when the ship is sailing, the exhaust fumes from the ship blow towards the area, making it really hard to breathe. So for this reason, I give the pools and Sundecks 3 anchors. Andrea, what do you think?
I give a 3 out of 5 as well. The pool or sun deck. I think your points are quite strong.
Yeah, imagine if there was full capacity.
Now let's talk about the cleanliness of the ship. We have to admit, we were really surprised on how clean the ship is. It's spotless. Every deck, bar, bathroom was absolutely squeaky clean. We don't know if it's because of COVID or it's normal on this ship, but we were really impressed about the cleanliness of the ship. For me, this is a solid 5 anchor out of 5. What about you, Rick?
Well, I have to say I completely agree, and I have to say that I was amused at all of these guys constantly running up and down the decks, just cleaning everything like crazy. So folks, for me, the cleanliness, I give it a 5 out of 5.
Excellent.
Yes. All right, so let me tell you about the spa. As you know from my previous videos, the spa is my natural habitat. Unfortunately, my experience at the spa was less than stellar. From the beginning, the spa just wanted to sell pretty much everything that we didn't want. And I thought it was expensive. For example, I usually go for 1 massage a week. And when we boarded, I felt that the prices were higher than we're used to paying. I mentioned promos that were given to us in the past, and I was told, no, they don't exist, they never did. Well, fast forward a few days, and there was a special, 89 euros for a 60-minute massage. I thought that was great. I explained that I prefer 75 or 80-minute massages at that point, and I was offered a 75-minute massage for 109 euros. Totally fair price. And if they had offered it from the beginning, I might have even had more. So anyway, I booked 3 massages at this price. On the last day at sea, I had my 3rd massage. But to me, it seemed to have ended early. And sure enough, it was just 60 minutes and not 75. Somebody made the booking wrong. But they were happy to take my 109 euros. Now, I explained that the other 2 massages I had were 75 minutes. But again, I was told I was wrong, and they never offer it at that price. So I paid. I went back to my room, and I found my receipt from the last 2 massages. And yep, there it was, 75 minutes for 109 euros. And I brought the receipt back, and they grudgingly refunded me 20 euros. But there was overall negativity, no apologies, and not something I was used to. Sorry guys, for the spa, I give you 1 anchor. What about you?
Well, considering the fact that I only saw the spa, but I didn't use it, and I don't like the spa, I will not cast my vote in this case.
All right.
Moving on our cruise review of Costa, we will talk about the casino. It is located on deck 2, midship, towards the front of the ship. The casino is quite large and has a good selection of table games and slots. There are 2 roulette tables, a few card tables, and an entire section dedicated to slot machines. Also, the casino will find 2 pool tables. We found the casino totally appropriate for the size of the ship, and for this reason, I'll give it a 5 out of 5. And what's your vote, Rick?
Yep, and don't forget, the blackjack tables had really fair rules. And even though we didn't win any money, we didn't lose anything either, so for that, I'm going to give it 5 anchors out of 5. Now, let's move to the shops on board the Costa Deliziosa. All the stores are located on deck 3. There's a Costa merchandise store located in the midship, and a photo area is also located in the same place. Then towards the front of the ship, you're going to find duty-free shop that sells snacks, chocolate, and a very small selection of toiletry. You can also find a jewelry store that's attached to the duty-free, and across the hallway there's a clothing store. We found the selection of the items for toiletry to be really limited, and considering we weren't able to buy anything on shore, because remember we couldn't go anywhere other than with the guide, I thought it was really inconvenient. And for example, on the second week, I was running low on sunscreen because in Greece you need a lot of sunscreen, and the only one available was this super expensive brand So they had a really small selection. Fortunately, folks, I was able to buy some on the beach in Mykonos, but yeah, the selection of these items is just really limited. So it's better to not forget anything at home. Folks, for the stores, my vote is 3 anchors out of 5. What do you think?
Yeah, I give the store a 3 out of 5 as well. As you said, the selection was really limited and it could be a bit of a problem. Our next topic on our cruise review of Costa is the theater. The space is quite big and very well laid out. The seats are very comfortable and there's a lot of leg room. Even for my long legs, I had no problem finding room.
Yeah.
Also, it has a quite great tables in front of each seat, so for snacks and drinks. Unfortunately, due to the health protocols, they did not serve any drinks at the theater, but we could bring our own from the bar.
Yeah.
Hopefully, this will end soon and we'll go back to normal very soon. I found the theater one of the most comfortable I've seen on a ship, and I'll give it a 5 out of 5 for this reason. What do you think?
Well, I would have to say that my vote is going to be the same. 5 anchors out of 5, because given that we were even at half capacity, it seemed appropriate that the theater was never more than half full. So yes, folks, 5 anchors out of 5. Unfortunately, due to the COVID restrictions, there were a few areas of the ships that we could not review because they were closed. These include the dance clubs, the thermal suite, which we were able to see but not use, the car simulator, the golf simulator, and the movie theater. We also didn't use the photography service because we like to take our own photos, and besides, we have hundreds of photos from past cruises anyway. So we don't review that service either. Well, folks, we really hope that you enjoyed this review of the Costa Deliziosa. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below.
For now, see you on our next video. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.